In this video, I'm going to show you how to use your TI-84 calculator to graph a parametric equation. You're going to want to click on Mode and go down to where it says Function, Parametric, or Polar, and click on Parametric. So select Enter, or press Enter to make that selection. Now go to Y equals, and you'll notice that your Y equals screen looks crazy different. You now have x1t, y1t. This is x1 of t, y1 of t, and so on. We're going to graph, for x, we're going to graph t squared minus 4. Now, in order to get the t, I'm just going to press my regular key that I have on the x. And you'll notice, oh, what happened? When I pressed that key, the t showed up. If you look closely at that key, you have x, comma, t, comma, theta, comma, n. I'm going to quickly go back to mode. Notice you have 4 different modes: function, parametric, polar, sequential, or sequence. So when you are in those different modes, the key pulls up the appropriate variable. So let's carry on. T squared minus 4, and y of t is t divided by 2. All right, and now I'm going to hit graph, and I get that. Looks like half of a sideways parabola. What I want to do here is I'm going to go over to my window. Notice that your window looks a little different. You have T min 0, T max at this number, and T step in addition to X min, X max, and so on. The T max number, the 6.28, that's 2 pi. And then this 0.13 decimal, I think that's about pi over 12 or something like that. Let's change our T min to -2 and T max to 3 and T step to 1. I press graph, and I get that. Look like what I would do if I were to graph it on paper. Let me go back to window, and I'm going to change x min to -5, my x max to 10, my y min to -5, and my y max to 5, and graph. Notice that it looks, especially right here around the vertex, it looks a little angular. Not smooth and not rounded. So let's go back to our window and let's change our T min to say -50, our T max to +50. Let's change our T step to 5. Whoa, that looks drastically different. That looks like a sideways V, or maybe a sideways absolute value graph. Pretty different than what we had before. Let's go back to the window and let's change our T step to 1. Looks a little bit more rounded. Let's change our T step to 0.1, and it looks a lot more smooth and rounded there. Let's change, let's go back to window. Let's change our T min to -2, our T max to 50, our T step to 0.01, graph. That one was nice. You actually got to see some animation, so you're able to see the direction of that particular graph. If I change my T min to 8, and my T max to -2, that seems wild because my T min is actually larger than my T max. Graph, you're going to get an error there, naturally. Finally, T min, whoops, let's go quit. Window, let's just change our T step to -0.01. We're leaving my T min at 8, T max at -2. Graph. Oh, isn't that special? So I get the same graph as I did before, but this time it's going in the opposite direction. Pretty groovy. Let's do another example real quick. I'm going to go to y equals. I'm going to clear out my x, clear out my y, and we're going to do t squared for x and t cubed for y. And graph. And there I had the same window settings as I did before, from 8 to -2 and 0.01. That's fine. I could maybe leave it at -10 to 10, 0.01. Whoops. Window range, x min. Sorry. Let me change that again. Enter. Window, let's change that to +0.01. There we go. And there's my graph. All right. And that's how to graph a parametric equation in the TI-84 calculator.